Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for coming. We're going to go over another Marvel Strike Force video. This one's going to be going over Maestro and his kit and who I think will be the perfect team going forward for him, especially for war. Alright, so let's get right into it. His speed is going to be 126. His villain, global, bio, brawler, and gamma. His ISO counter is attack primary target for 237% damage, plus 17% damage, plus clear 2 positive effects. If the target has wrath, apply bleed 2 for 2 turns. Wrath is going to be it's the new power here, and it could be pretty devastating depending on what it is. They haven't really explained it quite yet. So let's get into his stats. Basic. Attacks the primary target for 350% damage, clear 2 positive effects, and apply 2 bleed for 2 turns. If any enemy has 3 wrath, do the following instead. Attack all enemies for 300% damage, reduce duration of safeguard by 2, clear 2 positive effects, and apply 2 bleed for 2 turns. Gain speed up for 2 turns. This can only trigger once per match. Now it's going to be pretty easy to gain 3 wrath depending on who you're going up against. I would not set this team as a defense. I would use them as a offense team. That way you can control who you're attacking, because that's going to be a main thing. Is with wrath, you want to be able to control that as much as possible. Okay, a special. It's a 3/3, so he's going to be able to use one right off the bat. Attack primary and adjacent targets for 400% damage, plus flip all positive effects into negative effects. Bury yourself for 30% of this character's max health. For enemies with wrath, apply the following negative effects for 2 turns: 2 bleed, 2 defense down, and trauma. Deal 10% of this character's max health as damage. That's a huge one. That's like Quasar, Blastar as well, and Thunderstrike. So these newer characters are starting to have that, it looks like, where you can do a percentage of damage. Percentage is always better than a flat rate. So let's go on to the passive. The ultimate. 4 out of 6. It's going to clear barrier from all enemies. Attack enemies for 400% piercing damage, plus prolong the duration of negative effects by 1, except for ability block, bleed, and stun. For enemies with wrath, apply 3 bleed and defense down for the attack. Before the attack, I apologize. This attack ignores defense up, and enemies killed by this attack cannot be revived. His passive, here's the big one. On spawn, he's going to gain safeguard. On turn, while this character has 2 or more enemies, he's going to gain 30% drain up to a maximum of 90% drain. I'm going to tell you right now, with the team that I'm going to show you, he will have 90% drain right off the bat, because the team's passive is just going to stack everything. And plus 10% speed up to a maximum of 30% speed. He'll have 30% speed right off the bat. So his speed of 126 is going to increase right off from the start. So don't worry about the 126. He'll be moving fast right off the bat. When his character is attacked, here's the tricky thing. Now this can go a couple ways. I think it's going to go like this. If no enemies have wrath, apply wrath to attacking enemy. So that's going to be like yo-yo. Right off the bat, she's going to attack. If she attacks him, she will get wrath. If any enemy has wrath, apply 1 wrath up to a maximum of 3 to that enemy. So like say, Yo-Yo will attack, she'll get wrath. Another enemy attacks him, Yo-Yo will get another wrath. Another enemy attacks him, Yo-Yo will get a 3rd wrath until she dies. Once she dies, then it goes to the next one. Whoever attacks him gets a wrath. We'll say Damien. Then someone else attacks him, Damien will get another one. So next time he's attacked, he'll get another. So it's going to be, you're basically going to give wrath to the opposite team little at a time until they're all gone. This character cannot gain defense up or minor defense up. While this character is above 50% health, the character is immune to all negative effects except stun. This character is immune to darkness. He's going to gain 50% damage reduction, 50% focus, and 50% resistance. That is going to all increase with this team, believe it or not. So let's get into that, on who I think is going to be the best team to put him with. At least my opinion. She-Hulk and Brawn, I don't think will be good with them. I'm basing everything off passives, and passives alone. So, we're going to start with Red Hulk. His passive. Nothing on his kit so far is changing. We will have to see if these characters change when he does come out. So what's going to help out not only Maestro, but the team. I come down. If Apocalypse is an ally, gain 1 charge up to a maximum of 5. Apocalypse is going to be part of the team I'm showing you. Gain 60% focus, and Gamma allies are going to gain 60% focus. That means Maestro is going to gain it. Apocalypse and all Horseman allies gain 60% focus. So that's more focus for Apocalypse. For each charge, gain 10% speed, 20% block, and 20% chance to counterattack. And in war, here's the thing. On spawn, fill speed bar by 10% plus 10% per Gamma ally. If the character has 3 or more Gamma allies, when the enemy attacks this character, gain an additional charge up to a maximum of 5. He's going to gain 50% damage reduction. Gamma allies will gain 50% damage reduction. So, Maestro. Gain 50% resistance. All Gamma allies gain 50% resistance. There you go. He has 100% resistance. Maestro does right off the bat. Defense up and minor defense up cannot be applied to self and all Gamma allies. Next, Hulk. In war, he's going to gain taunt like normal. When an enemy attacks a Gamma or Wave 1 Avenger, his speed bar is going to be filled up. Gamma allies will gain 30% armor. Maestro. So that's the main thing that this one character is going to be giving him. Hulk is going to be giving him armor. 30% armor on top of what he will already have. Gamma allies gain 30% max health and 30% drain. So if you look over here at Maestro's passive, where is it? Right here. He's going to have 60% drain off the bat just by those two. Apocalypse. All allies gain 20% max health. All allies gain 20% damage. He's going to have Maestro and Red Hulk for villain and Horseman. So he's going to gain chance to counter attack. And each ally is going to gain 100% accuracy. That would also be Maestro. But let's look at She-Hulk's passives. See if she's going to be better than Hulk. They took out the gamma. Oh, right here. It won't affect other characters, it's just going to affect her. And now let's look at Brawn. On War, he might actually be better than Hulk. Apply speed up to self and all gamma allies. At the end of any turn, clear heal block on self and any champion or gamma allies that has heal block and regeneration. So that's all the passives that'll work. So it's a toss-up between Hulk and Brawn on who you want. I would take in, Hulk's going to give you a taunt right off the bat. And if you put Hulk, Maestro, Red Hulk, Abomination, and Apocalypse in that order from right to left, by having Maestro right here, when they attack him, they will attack. Unless it's a single attack, they will get Maestro attack, and they will gain Wrath. If you get an AoE by attacking Red Hulk or Maestro, having Red Hulk here will help give him charge. So that's who I think is going to be a great team for War going forward once he's out and Maestro's out and able to play. And that is all. Thank you so much. Have a great day.